I'm here today with Chris Stanley, and we're actually in the community of Gingolx, how do you say it?
Gingolx.
Gingolx,
Yeah.
right, and the Nisga'a First Nation in northwestern BC, and we're right at the border with Alaska actually, and I'll put a map below this video so you'll actually see where we are. And the reason I have Chris on the video, he's the fire chief here, because he has such an interesting story of how God has transformed his life. So Chris, welcome to our video. There are people watching from all over the world actually, in many different countries. And can you just tell us a bit about how your life began, and tell us a little bit about your childhood?
Basically, I guess I grew up in different communities. I think in 1979, we moved to Canyon City, and that's where I lost my mom when I was 10
You were
years
10.
old.
You were 10 years old and you lost your mother. And then what happened after that? Where did you end up living? Because you had, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
When we talk about it, my dad used to say a basketball team, 2 subs, and 4 cheerleaders.
So how many children?
11.
11 children in your family.
Yeah.
But, so after your mother died, then what happened to you?
I basically went, after we're done, I bounced around from family member to family member. And
how many different homes did you live at when you were teens?
Probably my older brothers and sisters, I'm saying probably 8.
8 different homes you lived in.
You stop and you look at the community here, I probably lived in 5 or 6 different places.
This is all before you were 20?
Yeah.
Okay. And so then tell us also, at age 10, something else there was a behavior you started when you were 10. What happened?
Well, after I lost my mom, I basically, to the point where I started thinking about, okay, now I need to find something to dull the pain. And I was introduced to smoking it.
Smoking marijuana.
Marijuana, getting stoned, and that first joint made me forget what I was going through.
This is when you were 10, you started marijuana.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how, over the course of your life from age 10 to now, how old are you now?
49.
So from age 10 to 49, how bad did your marijuana habit get? How much did it control your life?
Basically, when I thought about it, and I look back on it today, it had complete control over my life. And, because as I stated to you yesterday on the drive-in, before, when I used to go to town, I used to sit there and I guess you can say was hide away money, hide away $40, $60 or whatever it is, hide away money, or collect change in the house, or walk around and see something in somebody's in their car or whatever, and I grab the change.
And so how much time were you, I think you told me yesterday that you spent a high percentage of your life stoned, even up till last year.
Yeah, basically when I look back, last year I quit probably 8 days when I went to put my nephew away over in Haida Gwaii, and I quit for, I think it was 13 days then.
Yeah, but I think you said that when you weren't...
As I got back on January 13th, January 14th, I basically was right from there until November. It was basically every day.
You were stoned every day most of last year?
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, marijuana controlled your life?
Yeah.
So tell me, and how did that affect your marriage during those years?
Got to the point where I basically got an ultimatum, and I was told that I have to make a decision. What's more important to you, just getting stoned, or marijuana, your friends, or your family?
So your wife gave you an ultimatum, and that was in November last year?
Yeah.
Okay. And so tell me then, what did you do as a result of that ultimatum?
Basically, I went home and I walked, I basically finished smoking up that night, and I went back to the house and sat there and thought about it, and I started praying to myself, saying, I don't want this, I don't want to lose my wife, I don't want to lose my kids, I don't want to be alone again. So I basically prayed and told God, I said, I'm tired of this. You always say, ask and you shall receive. Pray and let me know what is hindering you, what's stopping you from allowing me to be in your life. And I just told him, I said, it's the drugs. That's what's stopping me from being in your life. Because I'd rather go and smoke up than to go and sit in church. Or I'd rather get stoned than go to a family function or something. So, and I just prayed that night and just told him to take it away. I said, I'm tired. I'm to the point now where I'm tired of losing things in my life. So I told him, this is yours, everything I have, I'm handing it over to you.
So you gave your life completely over to Jesus that night.
Yeah.
And you knew about praying to Jesus because you had been to Sunday school as a child.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what happened? So that happened in November of last year, 2017.
Yeah.
So you said that to Jesus, and then what happened?
I woke up in the morning and same thing. I started checking out, going online, just started checking out different daily devotions, just to find, like I say, to find out and start understanding His Word, and start reading the Bible. And I basically started from the beginning again.
So you started reading at Genesis,
yeah,
the morning after you committed your life to Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how has this changed your life?
It's basically open, like I say, today it's 127 days.
127 days
yeah,
since you had your last marijuana joint.
Yeah.
127 days.
Yeah.
And how much withdrawal symptoms did you go through? How much cravings did you have to deal with?
Probably not as much as I thought it was going to be. Like I say, once I realized and understood that there's a higher power greater than me that can help me and walk me through this, and like I say, in the hard times, He's going to give me answers. When I'm struggling, I open the Bible, and what I used to do was let the Bible fall open, and whatever it fell open to, that's the scripture I read.
But when you stopped that really quite intense marijuana habit,
yeah,
how much withdrawal did you go through?
Basically none. When you stop and
none.
think of it.
After a lifetime of marijuana
yeah,
use, I mean, that should make you sick for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then what about the cravings? Did you have to fight the cravings?
No, I basically left it up to Him, and I told Him, I said, I don't want to deal with it. I want you to take everything. Like, I want you to take the cravings. I want you to take the sickness. I want you to take all of this out of me, and just so I can stop and start enjoying my life.
So the next day after you prayed that prayer, you had no cravings and no withdrawal symptoms,
yeah,
and it's been this many days since you've
yeah,
been free of it.
Yeah, 127 days.
Wow. And how has this changed your marriage?
It's allowed them to. We still have the little arguments, but like I say, they don't blow up into the arguments we used to have, where it was silence for days.
Actually, you don't know, but I actually spoke to your wife.
Yeah.
I asked Rachel, what difference has it made?
Yeah.
And she says she has a brand new husband. She just can't believe what the different man you are. You are so much better.
Yeah.
So I heard it from her privately.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And now, what are your plans for the future?
Well, I'm looking at going to Ottawa University to get my MBA.
In what subject?
Economics.
So you're going to go to the University of Ottawa, starting this coming September?
I'm hoping September. It should be September.
To the University of Ottawa to get an MBA in economics,
yeah,
and then come back to this community to
help build infrastructure. Like I say, you see the natural beauty that's all around us, and all the amazing things, the potential, as you can say.
And you told me you actually even have a scholarship from the University of Ottawa for this program.
Yep. April 30th was the deadline, so I'm just, like I said, working on my essays and filling out my applications and making sure that, like I say, make sure all your ducks are in a row and everything's all in place. So.
But if we had had this conversation this past October, you would have been stoned all the time and
yeah,
had no plans for the future, and your marriage was about to fall apart.
Yeah.
That's a miracle.
Yeah.
And I just felt that you needed to hear this story of this miracle that I discovered with Chris coming here this weekend. So what would you say to the people watching who are struggling with addictions, struggling with their marriages? What would you say to them to encourage them for their futures?
Just to stop and stop and take a look at your life and ask yourself, if I wasn't in control, and give up control of it. Give up control of it. Not worry, like I say, I learned to not worry about my finances, not to worry about my kids.
Because you've placed your hand in the hand of Jesus.
Yeah.
So, take that from Chris. So, it's been great having you join us. If you'd like to get this video on a weekly basis, just fill out the subscription form, which you can access by, on this page, click on Join the Transformation Movement, and I'll talk to you again next week. But this week, realize that Jesus can change your life. Doesn't matter how low you've sunk, He can change your life. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Greg.